Hi, it's Roy Hill again with Brownells, and today we've got another gun from the vault. The gun from the vault today, it comes from my personal collection, and it's one of the very few, if not the only, non-functioning firearms that I own. And I own it because it's cool and it's got a neat backstory. But what this is a 41 Rimfire Derringer. Now these pistols were made starting in 1866 and made through about 1935 or so, and they made a bunch of them. This one is non-functioning. I'm going to show you why it's non-functioning. Is because the top strap is broken and the double barrels actually come all the way off the frame here. You can see the top strap was here. If this gun were complete and functioning, you would push this lever down around, which would release the block, and then the gun would tip open like this, and the two parts would be in this arrangement right here, and then you could load the barrels and then close it back up and flip the latch around and be ready to fire it. There's no telling how old this gun is. I got this from a gentleman who got it from one of his ancestors in Crawford County, Arkansas. That man's name was Mr. Oliver, and the story that I have documented on a little note from the original owner was that Mr. Oliver was walking along railroad tracks in Crawford County, Arkansas one day and looked down, and this pistol was just laying there in the gravel and the rocks alongside the railroad track. So it either had been dropped off a train or perhaps thrown off a train. And he picked it up and put it in his pocket, and for years it served his family every fall when it came time to butcher a hog that they had raised. They used this pistol to dispatch that hog so they could then cut it up for food and render the lard, etc., etc. Some cool features on this 41 Rimfire. Again, it's a 41 Rimfire. And I do have, that came with the gun, a round of 41 Rimfire ammunition. You see, it's a little stubby thing with a almost pointed conical lead bullet. And this is a dud round because if you look here on the back, you can see where the firing pin has hit it in two different places. And it looks like, just looking at the gun, they tried to shoot this one in maybe the top or the bottom barrel first, and that didn't happen, so they took it out and put it in the other barrel and tried it because they're perfectly separated by 90 degrees on either side of the diameter there of the rim. So it is a rimfire, and it's got kind of a big flat firing pin that comes out and just pokes into the rim of the cartridge. But it's not very big, not very powerful, 41. The other thing on this pistol is the extractor still works, okay? So if this rimfire cartridge, I'm gonna go ahead and drop it in the chamber here, and I push on it, you see how it kind of edges that cartridge right out of there? Let's do it in the other barrel. Boom, and that one's got enough oomph on it still, I can actually kick it all the way out. It does have a rudimentary front sight, and it says here on the strap, it says Remington Arms Company, Ilion, New York, right there in cute little script right there on the top rib. So it's still got the extractor, it still has the mark, the trigger still works just fine there. You can see some rust coming out of the gun. Pull the trigger and it still snaps. And again, if this top strap hadn't broken at some point over the years, this strap would hold the barrel assembly onto the frame, and again, when you'd flip the little lever here, it would open like that, and you could use your extractor to get the empties out and then put two more in there. But this is a classic old school Derringer. It's got gutta percha, which is kind of like a hard plastic thing, grips. It's got that nice patina, or in this case rust. But it's a cool old gun with a cool story, and I just wanted to come share that with y'all today. Well, that's all I've got to say about my 41 Rimfire Remington Derringer. Thanks for watching. If you have any guns you'd like to see, please leave us a comment below. We'll see you next time we get another gun from the vault.